So hello, this is Draconic What If, and welcome to part 1 to What If Staying Train Deku. And I'm sorry for not uploading before, it's just I was doing schoolwork and also applying for college. So yeah, and also I'm playing music in the background because I was like, why not, it might sound better. Plus, there's a better thing to hear in background noises, to be honest, so yeah. Plus so it's not so quiet, you know. So yeah, just telling you. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say this real quick before we get into this video. I'm gonna give Deku like superhuman abilities, as in the same as Captain America, you know, superhuman strength, agility, generation, you know, the same strength as America. Maybe like 2 times stronger than him, but you know, you get it. He also kind of like learn things quicker, so yeah. So there's that, and he's also going to be very adept at martial arts. Okay. So let's get into the what if. So, we start off when Inko's giving birth. And all you can hear is just her screams going throughout the whole hospital, just echoing. But there are 2 doctors with her saying, Mr. Midoriya, keep on pushing, push, just a little bit more, just keep on pushing, push. And then baby Izuku is born, with Inko panting from all the exhaust, from all that, you know, from finally being relieved of giving birth to Izuku. But the thing that both of the doctors find strange is the fact that Izuku's not crying. He's breathing, yeah, but he's not crying. They want to check if everything's okay with him. So one of the doctors slaps Izuku, like, you know, to check if he's okay, whilst the other doctor is holding him. But what the doctor that slapped Deku did not expect is to get kicked in the face and sent flying, which actually surprised both of the doctors that baby like this has this much strength. So the doctor wasn't exactly sent flying. He was, well, sent back a few feet at least, you know, like, you know. But yeah, they were shocked. They thought, does this baby have a quirk already? They were confused. So they asked Inko if they could run a few tests, because they think Izuku might have a quirk from a very young age, which is very rare. And she said yes, but keep in mind she literally just gave birth, so they did let her hold him for a bit and then they took him for testing. They did a few tests, and all they could find out is that, you know, he doesn't have a quirk. They kept on running tests, but all they could find out is that the baby is just superhumanly strong. They don't know if he's gonna have a quirk in the future or not. They only have to wait. So they did tell Inko that they don't exactly know if Izuku has a quirk or not. Cause I mean, they think that he does, since he has this abnormal strength. So they tell her to come back. He'll come back in a few years to check if he actually has a quirk or not. So of course, after some time, both Inko and Deku go back home. And of course, Izuku isn't exactly like in canon. He's still like, you know, that cheery boy, but once he got on his nerves, yeah, no, he will stand his ground. So yeah, he's still friends with Bakugo up until, you know, the age when Bakugo awakens quirk, which is 4 years old. So after Bakugo awakens his quirk, he of course gets this, you know, superiority complex. But Izuku, Deku in other words, he literally tells Kachan to calm down and not get too ahead of himself, because there are always people with better quirks. But of course, you know, Buck was not having it, and you know, decided to explode Deku. But of course, the explosion, as we know, wasn't strong enough, and Deku is superhumanly strong anyway, so that did burn his clothes, but it didn't really do anything. And all that Izuku said, really, Kachan? Really? You really had to do this? You know. And after that, you know, Bakugo still was Bakugo, but this time when Bakugo and his goons were bullying the kid, of course Deku stepped in and literally told Bakugo, Kachan, if you don't step away now, you're gonna get hurt. I mean, of course, not gonna say like that. He's going to say, I was like a 4-year-old, of course, So, of course, Bakugo again was not having it, so he decided to attack him once more. But since, of course, Izuku has superior reflexes, speed, and agility, and all that sweet stuff, he easily dodges, and he doesn't even punch Bakugo. All he does is just push, use a palm strike as to push him, and accidentally sends Bakugo flying, which also kind of knocks the wind out of him and knocks him out. Of course, the goons try to attack, but the same thing happens to them. Of course, the kid thanks Izuku for saving him, and he asked the kid, why were they bullying you? And the kid just said, it's because I have this quirk where I can only stretch my eyes. Yes, I'm talking about that guy, because why not? So yeah, when I was Bakugo being Bakugo. So yeah, that goes on. And then of course, I don't have really much to cover because there really isn't much changing about Bakugo, but all I can say is that both Izuku and Bakugo grow up power after that, because of course Bakugo starts bullying kids, which Deku doesn't really like because he's not a tough person. And of course he always stops Bakugo. Whenever Bakugo tries to fight him, he always gets the palm strike. Never a fist, just the palm strike, and always gets knocked out. So yeah. But when they actually do go to the quirk doctor, they say that he's actually quirkless, but they also say that it's surprising because when they ran tests when he was a baby, and now he still has the superhuman strength and all those, which they were confused. So they ran more tests, but all of them came back the same. Quirkless, but superhuman strength, agility, reflexes, and all that. So they came to the conclusion that Deku, Izuku in other words, is a quirkless superhuman, which they are surprised. Of course, he was quirkless, but of course not powerless. So I'm just saying that. Okay, so when he came back to kindergarten, he told everybody that he's quirkless. People wanted to laugh at him, but at the same time they didn't, because they knew how strong he was and what he did to Bakugo all the time. So they really didn't do anything. They really didn't laugh at him at all. So I said, yes, go on. Of course, Bakugo, for some stupid reason, tries to bully Deku, which always ends up with Bakugo getting knocked out. So at that point, Bakugo still tried to, because he sees, Deku as an obstacle for him to get stronger. Because he thinks like, if I can defeat him, I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna show this quirkless nerd to his place. Him still being Bakugo. And I'm gonna say Deku still uses his notebooks to analyze heroes, but but he analyzes them not as a hobby, but more if he ever would have to fight them as a hero, with the weaknesses, or also he also learns from them, in the fighting styles and other stuff. I would say he's still a fanboy of All Might, but not to that extent. He likes All Might, and he likes All Might, but not that much. He prefers heroes that actually, like Eraserhead, that actually use martial arts, because Deku always has shown interest in martial arts. Anyways, so yeah. Of course, in middle school, really, nothing really changes that much. Well, the only thing is that Deku doesn't get bullied. People know he's quirkless, but they don't try to fight with him. And people that actually do try to bully him always end up getting knocked out. So, yeah. And of course, whenever people try to gang up on him and he beats them up, the teachers can't exactly say anything that he used his quirk or anything, because he's quirkless. So It's just self-defense, in other words. Obviously. And so we skip to the end. We skip to the start of the anime, which is basically the end of middle school. Of course, the teacher comes in with the paper saying we're gonna have an aptitude test to see what you're gonna do in the future. We just screw it. I know y'all gonna be in the hero course. Of course, everybody starts using the quirk except from Bakugo, and Deku is just there chilling, listening to music. No. And then of course the teacher says, "Oh, it seems like Bakugo wants to go to UA." And of course Bakugo still goes about that rant how he's the superior one and to like not lump him in with those extras. And then the teacher says, "Oh, Izuku Midori is also applying for UA." In this version, nobody really laughs because they know how strong Izuku is, and they know that and they see what he could do to Bakugo. So yeah, he may be quirkless, but he is the strongest kid in the school, and he has proven that on many occasions. So they don't laugh and they say, actually, yeah, Izuku could make us hero, although he's quirkless, considering he's freakishly strong, without even though he doesn't have a quirk. So yeah, they don't really laugh. I mean, they still contemplate if he would be a good hero or not, but like they think that he could make it as a hero, so it's okay. Of course, when Bakugo hears that, you know, he starts screaming at Deku, but Deku just looks up and just takes out his headphone in an airphone and says, what were we talking about, Kachan? He still calls him Kachan, but you know, just cause it's just as out of, you know, habit, because he always called him that. But he did give him the name, but whenever he is pissed off at Bakugo, he calls him Sparkles, in other words. Or sometimes singing Boom Boom Boy, or a terrorist, just to piss him off. So yeah, of course, you know. But of course, you know, Bakugo saw he wasn't listening. He did try to explode him out of rage, but of course, Deku easily dodged that and just slapped Bakugo on the head, which caused him to hit his head on Deku's desk, and all Deku says, "Whoops, I used too much strength. I was not supposed to do that. Sorry." So yeah, Bakugo already, you know, he's like, oh, screw it, you quirkless nerd, as always. And it's like, so anyway, we skip to the end of the day. While at the end of the school. Of course, you know, Bakugo does try to explode Deku's notebook, but Deku saw that coming from a mile away. So he quickly takes the notebook away and puts it in his bag before Bakugo could even do anything. And all Deku says is like, Kachan, if you want to get my notebook, you have to be way faster than that, which you aren't. Just annoying Bakugo. So yeah. Of course, Deku still takes the same route with the sludge villain, but this time since he's a superhuman, his senses I think are also enhanced as well, because, you know, superhuman and all that. I would say he'll be able to, like, you know, hear it, so he dodges out of the way. You know, he gives some dodging and dodging, trying to, you know, find a way to escape it, but then he hears, "No need to fear, cause I am here," from All Might, of course, and then of course All Might uses his smash and splashes, you know, the sludge villain all over. Of course, Deku is not. He is a fanboy, but like not that much, and he does ask, because he's actually more blunt in this one, so, you know, he's like more blunt, so I'll say that. And he asks, you know, All Might for his autograph, which All Might does give, and then Deku asks him a question if he could be a hero, although he doesn't have a quirk. But before All Might could answer it, Deku said, actually, let me rephrase that. You see, I don't have a quirk, but I was born with superhuman strength, but not in a quirk, but as in general. That the doctors say the first quirk was superhuman. So I was curious if I could still make it as a hero. But keep in mind, like, Deku's determination to be a hero is very visible, so even if All Might tells him that no, he can't without a quirk, Deku's not really gonna care. He just wants to hear what All Might has to say about this. So of course All Might does contemplate on this one, but before he can answer, he's running out of time. So he says, "Sorry kid, but I can't answer this question for you," and he jumps away. Of course, since All Might was in a rush, the battle still falls out, just for the plot's sake, you know. And of course, we still hear the giant explosion that's coming, and Deku's like, "Oh, that's interesting." So he decides to go there because it looks quite familiar, which you can't blame the guy since he always sees those explosions. He's seen those explosions for a very long time. And then he sees, then he sees Hero saying, evacuating people and also saying the sludge villain and saying that he has a kid. But then he's like wondering why the hero's doing anything, and then he sees that it's Katsuki in there, where it's about to getting suffocated by the sludge villain. All Might is there, but of course he went with his time, so didn't really work out. Of course, Deku just does the same thing as in canon, but this time since he's superhumanly strong, he manages to rip out Bakugo and then just throws him to the heroes. But when the sludge villain was about to jump at Deku, that's when All Might jumps in and uses his smash and changes the weather. Like, of course, people praise Bakugo for his explosion quirk, and they do praise Deku for his heroism, but also scold him for being reckless. And all he says is like, "Really, I was being reckless. Well, I may have been reckless, but I actually did something. Unlike you heroes who just stood around there. Honestly, just because your quirks weren't compatible, that doesn't mean you're just gonna stand by and let somebody die. Honestly, I don't even know why he became heroes if you're just gonna let that person die just because your quirk isn't compatible. Jeez." Then just walks off. Cause in this one, Deku really when he sees heroes doing that stuff, he does get annoyed. I'll say he kind of has the same thing like Stain, but a bit different. He's not Kill, but he just gets annoyed at the fact that at the fact that heroes do that. Of course, unbeknownst to Deku, there was somebody watching that. He was actually pretty interested in this kid, especially how he's coded those heroes. So he decided to, go meet with the kid, and he did. Well, of course, this is before Stain did anything. Start killing heroes. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but Deku did go to martial art classes like karate, judo, and most likely say taekwondo as well. Probably also some Brazilian jiu-jitsu as well. So yeah. He was also thinking about learning some kendo as well. Well, swordplay in other words. I don't even know if I said it right though. Kendo. Was it kendo? Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah. So then Deku just says, "Who are?" When Stain appears in front of him, he says, "Who are you?" And Stain says, "My name is Stain." Right, I know. They do talk for a while, and then Stain says, "Kid, you did something amazing, saving that kid. All those fake heroes decide to do nothing. I swear they don't deserve to live." And Deku basically says, "Well, I'm also mad at the fact that they didn't do anything, but I don't think that they should die because of it. But I am annoyed at the fact that just because the quirks are incompatible, they didn't do anything." Then Stain asks, "Anyway, kid, what's your quirk? It looks like a strengthening type of quirk." And he simply says, "Well, I don't necessarily have a quirk. It's more of a superhuman ability that I was born with. The doctor said that I'm the first quirkless superhuman." So yeah, and then said, "Interesting." of course, Deku is pretty buff. Not gonna lie to you, he is pretty buff. I'll say just like Captain America, you know, just as buff. So yeah, and then he said, and then he said, so what are your plans for the future, kid? And he said, oh, I plan on becoming a hero. And Stain says, although you don't have a quirk. And Deku said, I don't care if I don't have a quirk. As long as I get to become a hero and save people, that's all that matters. At least I get to save lives. And of course, Stain does take a liking to Deku and says, hey kid, how about I train you? And Izuku says, really? You'll train me? Keep in mind, of course, Stain's career still did not begin, so he didn't kill anybody just yet. So yeah. But then he says, yeah, but I gotta warn you, kid. My training is pretty gruesome. So after you get into this, there's no backing out. You understand? Of course, for the 10 months, like what was supposed to be a hellish training for Deku was actually not that hard. It was just to him it was just like some intense training. That's it, because he's a superhuman, so he could do it easily. So yeah, so he did learn like some hand to hand from Stain, which I'm guessing is street fighting maybe, or some like taijutsu, because I swear he was trained by some ninjas. So if I remember correctly, he was trained like that. He also learned how to use the swords and knives. So he was like similar to Stain. So yeah, he did like using the small knives and also the katana, like a lot. He also liked using 2 katanas. So yeah, but what surprised him was the fact that Deku so quickly learned the swords play and all his skills, like martial arts and all. So I was actually pretty surprised. And then Stain says, damn kid, I didn't expect you to learn everything so quickly. At least I thought maybe like few months, or at least a few months at least, like 10, maybe even a year, maybe 2. No, I also didn't expect you to learn everything from me this quickly. And Deku says, well, for some reason I always had a knack for easy learning when it comes to martial arts and other stuff, so it's not really a problem for me. So yeah, of course, I didn't get into much detail about the training. Of course, Izuku was, changing Stain's mindset, because yeah, Stain concentrating on training Deku, so he still didn't kill anybody. So during the 10 months of training, Deku managed to change Stain's mindset and actually convinced Stain to actually become a hero. Like, okay, some of you may not like this, but I mean, I like Stain, and I think he would be a great hero, to be honest, with his Brook quirk. So yeah. Oh yeah, shit. I don't think I covered this. So like All Might did like offer one for all to Izuku, but he refused because he said that he wants to become the #1 hero, or at least a hero with his own abilities. So yeah. Then All Might offered to train him, and Deku said, All Might, I don't want to be rude, but you can't exactly train me anything. Not even in your fighting style, because you're more of a brawler. You just throw a punch and expect it to connect. So I'm sorry to insult you there. Which All Might probably was a bit hurt. Like, they know that he didn't want to train the #1 hero, but he was a... Well yeah. And an all for one, one for all. I say I'm gonna give one for all to... I'm not gonna give it to Miria, because then that would be a horrible choice. Kirishima, yeah. I'm gonna give it to Kirishima. So yeah, because Kirishima's a cool dude, I'm gonna lie. Alright, back to saying. So he convinced Stain to become a hero, and show the Hero Society what a true hero is. So of course in this one Stain does become a hero. Yeah, so that's good. Anyway, let's skip to the end of the 10 months, since it was already over. I want to say that actually Deku finished Stain's training within let's say 8 to 9 months. So he had like a month left of preparing more before the entrance exam. So yeah. Deku did go. So Deku did go to the entrance exam, Shoot, sorry if you heard the vibration. Deku goes to the entrance exam. For the written portion, I'm gonna say that he scored at least like. I would say he's tied in first place for Momo because I'm definitely because Captain America is smart definitely. So I'm just saying, yeah, he's definitely tied for like first place for Momo. At least, or if not first place, then at least in second. You know, so it's still pretty high. Now it comes. Now he didn't have an interaction with Uraraka, not at all. Now it came to the practical portion when they go to explain about the robots. In this one, Deku does not get to sit next to Bakugo. Instead, he's next to Ida. So yeah, so they were listening, and of course, when Ida was about to interpret President Mike about the 0-pointer, like Izuku stopped Ida and said, "Just wait, give him a moment. Just ask him after if he doesn't explain it." And you're like, okay. Of course, then the man gets, oh, and this is the 0-pointer. So like so Ida did think Izuku was stopping him because Ida would make himself look like a fool, in other words. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Ida has a stick so far up his ass that he's literally coughing off fucking splinters. Ugh. I don't hate Ida, but it's just, goddamn, that guy has a stick so far up his ass. Honestly. Anyway, it's like, so everybody gets changed into the gear to not gear but the outfits to train to go to the practical field and score some points. So and Deku does see Uraraka being nervous. He does walk up to her, and when he does want to stop him, Deku just Deku thingy just walks around him without even Ida letting to finish his sentence because Ida was about to say, because Ida was literally going to say, "I'm going to interrupt," and then Deku just walks around him have no time for you, and he goes speaking to Uraraka and actually calms her down, saying, "Hey, you look pretty nervous. Everything okay?" And Uraraka says, I don't know. I feel extremely nervous because for UA the entrance rate is so low, so I'm actually pretty worried. And all Deku said, "Don't worry, you just believe in yourself. Taking deep breaths through the nose and out from the mouth. Just believe in yourself. They're gonna make it. So you don't have to worry. So everything's gonna be fine." So yeah, of course, yeah. And since of course Deku trained with Stain, of course he does know, and also he's training martial arts as well, so he does know that there's no real countdowns in battle. So as soon as the gate opens, he just starts running. Of course, Ida, I would say he's not as fast as Ida. It's a proper with Ida's normal speed without using the reciprocal burst. I'd say they'd be evenly matched. So yeah. So anyway, Deku's just trying robots left and right, going for the 2-pointers, 3-pointers, 1-pointers. He's going for all the robots because to him it's not really that much different as long as he gets points, And yeah, he's not using he wanted to use swords, but he was like, nah, let's challenge myself, and he actually was using his bare knuckle fists, just using his bare knuckles. So yeah. So after a good few minutes, I would say he racked up about, let's just say 95 points altogether. Then of course he hears a scream, of course. This time, let's see. Let's still keep it for it to be Uraraka. Actually no, let's make it Momo, yeah. So he hears Thingy screaming out for help. He hears her and decides to go that way. And there you go. When you were flip. Everybody sees 0-pointer coming. Everybody starts running away, and Deku's like, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. But then he hears a girl screaming out for help. It's Momo cursing the robot. So he rushes there, throws the robot off of her, and picks Momo up and starts running. Because he's not about to try and take down a 0-pointer. So he manages to escape, and that's when the test ends. He brings her to the recovery girl, and of course he does ask her, when he was walking to a recovery girl, if she's okay. And she said no, that her ankle's kind of she said thank you for saving me, and of course her ankle was, twisted. So Kirby did heal her. I don't know. So yeah, and I'm gonna add the points later on because I can't be doing the maps now. So yeah, Deku goes home, and just starts waiting for his letter to arrive. So when the letter does arrive, All Might does congratulate Deku for getting in, although being quirkless, which did surprise him a bit. So yeah, and Deku was like, "Ooh, I was actually worried I didn't make it. Because my strength, I may be strong, but my strength is not compared to All Might, but still." Ugh. So yeah, I did. I mean, if you wanted me to give one for to Deku, well, I didn't want to because I just wanted to like see how it goes like this. So yeah. Anyway, so in part 2, that's when I'm gonna cover the quirk apprehension test and also the other parts. I'm probably gonna make it like 40 minutes, who knows. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. This was your kind of Griff, and see ya.